All right, Mr.
Hey,
Jeremy Bourne, we have Arnaud St. Paul up next for blockchain and philanthropy. Uh,
okay.
there's a lot
Hello,
going on in
thank
his
you
world.
so much for having me and thank you for organizing it. Um, uh, there was a little bit of a mishap and I thought I didn't have a keynote and then it happened about an hour ago. So I had to put all together in, the midst of time, but I hope that it will help people to understand a bit better how philanthropy and blockchain works nowadays. Can I share my screen?
Please do.
Okay,
Thanks.
wonderful. So let's see. Again, I apologize for the unpreparedness, but we'll do our best to make it happen for everyone. So let me put play. Just a second. Here we go. So can you see my screen? I assume you do. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. My name is Arnaud St. Paul. I am the founder of Give Nation, which we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's a blockchain-driven initiative related to philanthropy, hence the subject. I've been also working conscious capitalism, and I have another company which is about personal development and fostering more love and positivity throughout the world. My thing is about consciousness and technology and how to use one to foster the other. And here's my cat, by the way. So we are working here about how can we create an environment that enables and fosters more giving throughout the world. And so philanthropy is my day-to-day activity. And I wanted to share a little bit further where we stand nowadays and how we can grow. So a very quick feedback on how philanthropy is growing in the US. To give you an idea, in 2017, $410 billion were given only in the US, which is roughly a little bit below 2% of the GDP. It's 1.7 actually. What is interesting though is that the total charitable giving grew 5% in 2017. That education charities like Give Nation are amongst the most beneficial. They had an increase of 6.2%. And also a very interesting data shows that millennials are the ones that are giving the most. 84% of the millennials are giving to charity. And we're here in this surrounded by millennials, I assume. 11% of total donations come from millennials. This number will grow as they more and more come of age and get access to more and more capital. Another information that is more related to blockchain in this case is that nowadays, as referenced by Stanford, there are 240 projects that are related to social impact. We don't know if they are live projects or not, but overall, I would say that the idea of applying blockchain to social impact and philanthropy is still a nascent sector and it has room to grow. And so we can explore together how we can make that happen. So to give you an example of how important giving is for people like you and me, we have that young boy, 15 years old, who donated $500,000, not thanks to his parents' money, but because he won them, basically. He is 3-time world golf champion, and he auctioned off his hard-earned trophies. And that's how he took that money and then gave it to charity to help supporting children. And I'm heading Give Nation, so that's why we talk here about Give Nation. But it is all about how can we empower people and not just children to give them the tools not only to donate, but also using the blockchain to empower these people to provide a clear path towards helping others. Blockchain is an amazing community. It is all about helping each other to grow these amazing concepts that we are dear about, right? That we love, and together we can make a huge impact. We can not only provide or communicate that sense of community, but we can also use the advantages of our technology to provide transparency. So not only transparency from a tech standpoint, but also, sorry, I have a dog, quiet. So transparency, transparency for providing a full transparency across the donation. And this is a big aspect that blockchain enables. And at GiveNation, for instance, we will request gradually from the charities that we're supporting to provide a full transparency across towards the impact, so that we can provide an accounting of the impact that is being given at the end of the last mileage, if that makes sense. Along with that idea, I don't know if you're aware of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So the UN a few years ago created a target with 17 objectives about no poverty, about altruism, etc. And we can provide such visibility and trackability thanks to the blockchain, so that any project, any person, any organization that are having an impact, whether it is negative or positive, can be referenced on the blockchain, and we can all know how we are moving towards a better planet and a better humanity. That's what blockchain is powerful about and for, and that's what we should use as a tool to make a better planet. So I'm going to use the use case of the one that we're working on every day in and out with our team, which is, and that's what blockchain for me is amazing for, which is how can I engineer, how can I use the magnificent potential of blockchain and cryptocurrency to create a positive driven currency, to create an environment where people are incentivized directly and also inspired to make an impact. So it's not about, blockchain is about many things. We've seen that the core of the blockchain community is all about open source and helping each other, et cetera, et cetera. And then, gradually as we went more and more mass market, we started to attract people that are more connected to managing supply chain, to increase their financial assets, et cetera, et cetera. And we believe that as a community, we have an amazing potential of helping others to make a change in their lives. We believe that using our currencies, if we make it the right way, we can create the tools that will empower people to impact their community directly. Very much like what are the core values of blockchain. So in our case, it's called GiveNation, and we're creating the only nation on the blockchain that is called the GiveNation. And the GiveNation has a currency called the GiveCoin. And our vision is to educate 1.6 billion kids from 5 to 18 to create a space where, and an environment and a community where it is all about using a currency, in this case, the GiveCoin, to impact the world, whether they're local community, their local orphanage, the shelter, or also obviously the social community at large. And we are using again, cryptocurrencies to make that happen, not only towards giving to charity, but also towards saving and investing. And I'll get back to that in a second. Using always the UN Sustainable Development Goals as a tool to monitor how we're impacting globally. So the problem we're solving is not only a financial literacy issue, allowing children not to be into more debt than where we are now, but also to create an environment where they can give and be empowered to do so. So we designed an app that enables children to save, to invest, to earn, to spend in a fun and social and easy environment. And so the product we've built is here. You have our first implementation is an apple tree that has 5 roots, which is about saving, investing, learning, education, playing, and giving. And as they use the money, the apple tree will grow. So the point here is, how can a kid can support a charity? How can a kid buy a product or learn about a topic that is dear to him? And according to his action, he will earn more coins or will spend them and create a more positive environment for himself and his community. It's all about the we. And that's what I love about blockchain is it's all about us together to make a change. And we should use that power to make a huge change at the world level. And I believe we can do it as a community together. We'll obviously get into more features in the next few months. Here's Arjun, as you saw already. We made trials in Kosovo, which were amazing. And we were about to launch in Barcelona with 25,000 kids, but COVID happened. And so we put together some free compassion classes online, and we're rolling them out right now in the US. So it's a fun adventure for sure. We have amazing partners. Brave is one, Kinder is another, Brave, so Sikana, we have Everypedia as well, and a few more. They're all here to fight against financial illiteracy. And this is a very important aspect to blockchain as well. We need to educate the kids because they are the ones that are going to use our technology together from their very first day. So that's the type of things that will enable a mass market adoption of our technology. So we have a little team. You most likely know Elise and maybe Patrick as well. And we're all building that together. We'll skip that. Some testimonials from people from the Kosovo and Viva. And yeah, so from a presentation standpoint, that's about it. And you can reach me on givenation.world. I would like to say that I really believe that using cryptocurrency and blockchain, we have a chance as these amazing guys from CoinGenius to educate and provide positive tools to help individuals and a society in general to make a big change in their lives. And I believe that we have the tools to enable an abundance-based society. Until now, until the past 200 years, it has always been about scarcity and survival. And you know what we've done with UBI and with the different explorations that we've done together, and also the methods of governance and so on. We believe that it is now possible to create an economy that is based on abundance and gift, and not just about taking and about competition. And that's what we're looking to embody here in this world with Give Nation and with your help, which is to promote that idea of we can do it together and we can bring a positive use of a technology such as blockchain. And by the way, actually, we soon will start launching concerts online using blockchain as well. You probably saw Sam doing a pitch about concerts tonight. So we're launching very soon givemusic.live, which purpose will be to launch charity concerts again, and with top tier artists that will enable us to reach out to more and more people. So thank you very much for listening. I hope that it was useful in some way. I apologize for not being ready as I should have been, but I hope that next time I'll be invited and I'll prepare something better.
That was great, Arnaud. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing your vision. I think that this is a wonderful application of blockchain and the ability for folks to understand what tokenized economies are and the power of their vote, the power of their behavior. And I love that it's focused with kids who are inherently altruistic and haven't been, I think that's really smart. What can you tell me a bit about your team and the folks that are rallying around this idea, the folks that are supporting you?
Yes, I would love to. So I'll put the slide. That slide, here we go. So from a team perspective, well, besides me, who have 30 years of experience in technology and finance, we have Fernando in Portugal, who is an amazing CTO, works a lot in social impact. Patrick, who is with Team McAfee, more from the blockchain world. So he's our CFO and has been supporting us in the past year. Liz, Sam, who is now, I think, the world expert in stable coins. Hey, yay. So she's my co-founder, joined us about a year and a half ago, and she's absolutely amazing. And I really believe she's the mother of all these kids that we're putting together. Ari is an amazing young guy as well, who has worked at BTO, which is one of the big consulting firms. And Michael comes from media, and Timothy in the US. Well, anyway, many people. I think the most important thing is having partners like you guys, CoinGenius, and others like Brave and so on, help us a lot to first know that we're on the right mission and going in the right direction, but also to look to connect to everyone that is ready to make a positive change. And I think that's what helps me to wake up every morning and be very happy to work with the amazing team we have. We're about 12 today within the team, but there are many companies that are working with us and looking to work to create a beautiful world together for the kids, for our next generation, and for our planet at the same time, which is the important bit, right?
I would agree. That's why we put our work with Charity Genius and folks like you and folks like Binance Charity and the people that are really trying to make a difference. Patcoin, shout out to Patcoin there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So what can you tell me, Arnaud? You've been in many industries, before all of this, but you've been around, a lot of the folks in the industry. What can you tell me about the evolution, the bridge to the rest of the world, right? The road to mass adoption. What are you seeing in entertainment? What are you seeing in philanthropy? What are you seeing in the shift of mentality of folks kind of migrating to blockchain? And this is one application of it, but this blockchain revolution is a huge thing.
Yeah, it is. And my point of view here is that mass adoption comes because it's convenient to the individual. So it is because we're offering a lot of utility for a specific use case that it is going to be adopted. We're all about laziness, as I was said yesterday, actually in a panel, and so that's the bet we're making related to Givecoin in this case. It's because we're fulfilling something that exists already, but we're providing a new way of doing it that is easier for everyone that is going to be adopted, as long as there is no friction to adopt it, right? So the bottom line is, if it's easy to use, like a little bit like the UI that I showed you, if it has a purpose that helps me in my day-to-day life, therefore it's going to be adopted and used. So, and we see that in education, in media, in everything, really. So what we're looking at is how can we create systemic change that I can also create the systemic approach to acquire more and more users, yeah, and hence the concerts, and therefore bring them to use the platform, and then they start educating their parents and other people. And so creating like washing machine, bringing in more people and educating them in the process. Education is big; it's the tool, but it's also convenience that is very important. If that makes sense.
Totally agree. Well, we appreciate everything that you're doing, Arnaud. What are you seeing in terms of when we're talking about social impact and we're talking about other companies that are also leading the charge here? Who are some other companies that you'd identify in the space that are really doing a great job in terms of education and creating a really more sustainable future?
That's a good question. I've seen a few companies or initiatives like Givers.io or Elise that are doing an amazing job, but they're not necessarily in the education market. They are more on the charity aspect. In the educational market, I haven't seen that many people, frankly, because it's probably perceived as a non-profitable market, and also, to tell you the truth, it takes a lot of time to get into that market. That's true as well, which is a bit incompatible with the blockchain way of seeing things. Now, there are a few initiatives, so we're connecting with initiatives that are already providing tools. So, for instance, our friends from, sorry, there are some work around me. Our friends from Brittany Kaiser and the Own Your Data Foundation, we're working with them because they have an amazing tool to teach about owning your own data, about blockchain. And I believe, and they are working with a lab in Singapore that have created a whole curriculum for children. And the Q Lab, was it, if I'm not mistaken? And so we're going to work with them to broadcast that kind of information. Likewise, not from the blockchain world, there is an amazing company called OutSchool, and they have created very engaging remote programs for children with live teachers. And so we're going to work with them as well to provide that on our platform, because, you know, in the end, if it's fun and if it pays or it engages at least, then there is no reason why not people will be there to use them. So in the blockchain world, there is much about educating, you know, about trading and or in the B2B market, you know, supply chain and all that stuff. But towards the consumer market, I haven't seen yet big initiatives. I've seen local ones. There is a project in Belgium creating little shops or bars where you go and you get taught about blockchain. And so it's David Deversier that does that. And he's doing a great job. And, you know, I hope to connect to anybody that is going into the educational marketplace so that we can help each other and grow blockchain acceptance throughout the world.
Love it. Well, you know that we will love to bring all of that into CoinGenius University and help have that avenue so that folks can find those resources and know that these are legitimate resources. Arnaud, I love everything that you're doing. Tell me a few. So you mentioned Brittany Kaiser's foundation. I know Jeremy Gardner has the Blockchain Education Network. Don Tapscott has the Enterprise Level of Blockchain Research Institute. Our friends over at Cointelligence have Cointelligence Academy, and I know quite a few folks have like trading groups.
Nick Spanos.
Nick Spanos has an education platform. What are some of the other ones that I don't have on my list that I should have on my list here?
I don't have them in my, so, we're focused on the 5 to 18 years old. That's our thing.
Right.
And there it's kind of nobody's around. Above 18, there are many different people, and thankfully they are there. I do remember having heard about a school in Germany that teaches, like after-hour school that teaches about blockchain. But I don't have the name here in my head, unfortunately, but I can send it to you afterwards.
You let me know if they
Yep.
belong in the network. We want to help encourage folks to be able to find them.
Yeah,
Yes,
and Arnaud,
definitely.
let's definitely keep speaking and work together. We're working towards, in the future here in Coin Genius, a completely gamified experience that's highly customized to the user themselves. So
Perfect.
obviously, the younger generations are very used to gaming and tokens and all those kinds of things. So the way in which they would be onboarded is very educational by nature, but also gamified in terms of the experience and leading them down the road of understanding the technology, from opening a wallet and getting rewards. We even have something that we've coined that we'll release a little bit later this year called GXP, which is Genius Experience Points, taking a line out of the gaming sector, right? Because that's what they're used to. They want to experience points. We're going to give them badges. So the more that they do and the more education they consume, the more they go to events and interact, they'll earn more points to be able to be more educated and be empowered. So that's what we're working towards.
That's awesome. Let's do it together with pleasure. I mean, we'll start with 5 years old, using already some coins, and but they need to expand. And let's create these tools together and create fun stories that gives them the sense of adventure of going into crypto. Definitely, we could even have trading lessons for 12 years old on some kind of token as well. Let's do all these things.
So Arnaud, my joke, well, rather, Stephen Hawking says, if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you're not really an expert. So I can think of no better demographic for me to have a user experience, one click, kind of walk through. If they can understand it, then the rest of the world can understand it. And I think that that's a really important baseline for us to build technology around for that user experience.
Totally. I totally agree.
Arnaud, if somebody's interested in learning a little bit more about what you do or joining, where can they best find you? Where should they follow you? And maybe a website you can give out?
Well, givenation.world is where you can, subscribe and be kept posted. There you can subscribe to our homeschool program. Of course, it's free. And if you want to join and help and be part of the adventure as a company or as an individual, please do let us know, and we're accepting everyone. It's a community-based effort, not just us. And you can follow me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, I'm a bit everywhere. Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for having me, and I wish you an amazing day.
Thank you so much, Arnaud.
Bye.
Can't talk to you next week about a partnership integration.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.